Rob Kaplan is CEO at Circulate Capital, joining us live now from Cape Cod in Massachusetts. Rob, thanks so much for being here. We appreciate you joining us today. First of all, can I ask you, what is your investment philosophy and what problem are you trying to solve with the creation of this fund?
Thanks for making the time for us today. It's a pleasure to be here. So our investment philosophy is very clearly focused on preventing ocean plastic in South and Southeast Asia, where scientists have found that more than half of the plastic that flows into the ocean comes from that region. And we look for opportunities that turn that from a waste and a problem into a financial return.
So you're looking not just to create that financial return, as you say, but also a tangible social impact. So what are some of the biggest areas that you're seeing investment in right now when it comes to environmental ventures?
So we're very focused on harnessing the power and capital of some of the world's largest corporations to finance collection, sorting, processing, and new technologies that can turn plastic from a problem into that solution, whether it's new plastics or construction materials.
Okay, so what's your investment criteria? Can you give me some examples of the type of businesses that you would like to invest in?
Yeah, we're seeing most of the opportunity in basically startup waste and recycling companies. They've been operating for a few years. They have proven their business model, and they're now ready to take on $5 to $10 to $15 million to commercialize. It looks like new equipment, new infrastructure, new geographies to increase the amount of capacity and processing.
And so have you been getting out to South and Southeast Asia? What conversations have you had so far with some of those startup companies, and are they willing to play ball?
Oh yeah, we've been looking at this space for over a year and a half. We've spent many months on the ground in the region, and we're now, we actually just published our RFP and investment criteria last month, and we've started to receive a number of applications. We've looked at over 50 investments that we're starting to consider and narrowing in on our first potential transactions.
So Rob, so many of these ventures start with great intentions though, but then expectation meets reality. And in some instances, the returns that are generated by a lot of these environmental and socially conscious funds just aren't the same as other alternative investments. So from a viewer perspective, maybe even an investor perspective, how should we measure your success?
So we are taking on both a social challenge, an environmental challenge, as well as an investment challenge. The real problem here is that large-scale infrastructure investors and institutional investors are not allocating capital to waste and recycling. And the way we can get them involved is by proving that you can make money doing this. We need a track record, we need a pipeline, and we need intermediated products that allow large-scale infrastructure investors. So our success is twofold, is both how much plastic can we prevent from getting into the environment and other waste streams, and also can we generate a return.
And so tell me about the timeline for the fund getting up and running, and what's the barrier for investment? What's the minimum spend here?
So we're targeted in engaging with large-scale consumer goods and retail and chemical companies. So we've partnered with the likes of PepsiCo and Procter & Gamble and Dow to put their capital to work. That's in process right now. We're hoping to be able to do our first transactions in Q1.
And are we talking about tens of millions, hundreds of millions? How much money exactly, Rob?
At the Our Ocean Summit last year in Malta, we committed to raise over $150 million and put that to work. Some of that will be our capital and some of that will be from institutional co-investors. But ultimately, we want to bring in billions of dollars to this sector over the next 5 and 10 years.
All right, Rob, it's a really interesting space to watch. We appreciate the conversation. Thanks so much for being here. That's Rob Kaplan there from Circulate Capital.